Every time you come to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, you meet some interesting people and you find some interesting cars, and today is no different. I have just found the McMurtry Speirling, and it's a bit like the Batmobile. Today I'm with Thomas Yates, and you're the MD of McMurtry, aren't you? So can you tell me a little bit about this car? What's the idea behind it?
Yeah, so fundamentally this is a first principles track car that we've built. So with this company and with this car, we've intended to build the best possible electric track car that we could. It's astounding in terms of its performance, it's astounding in terms of its range.
And its looks as well.
Thank you.
I did mention earlier that it looks a bit like the Batmobile, and it's incredibly stunning. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of the core specifications, like with the electric motor and the batteries?
Yeah, so it's 1,000 horsepower per tonne. It's under a tonne. It is capable of doing 0 to 186 miles an hour in just under 9 seconds. It's intended for all intents and purposes to be an out-and-out track car. So we can get 30 to 60 minutes on a battery charge at really good pace.
It's quite slippery through the air as well. The actual shape of it is it's very narrow for a start. Talk to me about downforce and how you've kind of counteracted the loss of downforce without the huge wings that you normally see on most cars.
Yeah, sure. So fundamentally, we set out to build a really, really low drag car. So as you rightly say, it's only 1.5 meters wide. It's got a very, very low base drag, and that's because with electric vehicles, you pay a huge penalty for inefficiency. Any energy that you use, you have to carry around as battery, and that battery capacity is very heavy. So the car has got a really small frontal area, and it's designed to be very, very slippery. But of course, if you want to make a true high performance track car, you need downforce. You need to stick the car to the road. And so for this particular concept, we have used fan-based downforce. So it's got more than 80 horsepower of fans on the back end of the car that are used to glue it to the road. So we can produce more than 500 kilos of downforce from 0 miles per hour.
So there's fans actually sucking the car into the ground?
Yeah, so we generate low pressure underneath the car, which indeed gives you the downforce that you need to go really quickly in straight lines and around corners.
It's slightly reminiscent of Formula One cars with ground effects, isn't it? A similar principle. And you can generate that downforce without the need to go particularly fast in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can generate full downforce from zero speed. So the wonderful thing is the sort of acceleration is fantastic. And we can deliver that with a car that's rear-wheel drive.
So electric cars are normally pretty quiet, but because this is running fans for downforce, I imagine it's not that quiet, is it?
Yeah, so this is actually 120 decibels at the back of the car when the fans are running flat out.
So the loudest electric car there is then?
We'd like to think so. It's a lovely byproduct of trying to do downforce in this way. It wasn't really what we intended when we set out, but yeah, it's a fantastic noise. It sounds like a jet fighter when the car drives past you. So, but would you like to jump in and have a go?
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's try it out.
So you should now be able to tie the fans.
So just pull this lever down here.
Yeah, pull the lever.
That's mental. So we had a dummy steering wheel before. This is what the final steering wheel will look like. So it's got a TFT display here, and the fan switch is located on the back. And of course, being electric, you don't need any gear selectors at all. It's just like you just push the pedal with your right foot and then off you go. But absolutely incredible piece of machinery. Talk to me about the bodywork as well. I'm guessing this is carbon. I can see some weave going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole thing is carbon. It's a full carbon monocoque with integrated battery. So the battery is a 60 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery that has been designed and delivered by us. It's fully integrated into the chassis. So the form of the battery is such that it wraps around the driver, and it gives you a really good centralized mass. Obviously the battery is a significant part of the car mass, and you want that to be as low and as central as you possibly can within the car. The bodywork has been sculpted to try and clearly give us the lowest drag possible, but clearly with an eye to styling as well.
And with that 60 kilowatt hour battery pack, I know it's not intended to be used on the public road, but what kind of range would you estimate that this car could get if one were to drive it on the public road?
Yeah, so the simulated WLTP numbers, obviously the WLTP being the standard that everyone's working to at the moment, is 350 miles.
It's astonishing.
Thank you.
You don't really hear those numbers being quoted for a car with a pack as quote unquote small as that. So it's an interesting figure.
Yeah. So the philosophy of our company is smaller, faster, further. So we've really tried to get rid of any redundancy, any redundant space, any redundant components on the car. It's really been about shrink wrapping this car into the minimum possible form to give us lowest possible drag and lowest possible weight.
But normally when you find a high performance electric car, it's compromised by huge batteries and massive amounts of weight. So I suspect the handling might be quite decent on this.
Yeah, so we're still developing the handling. So we're working with our two development drivers, Derek Bell and Alex Summers, and we're making leaps and bounds. So the car's only been built a week. We've just run it up the hill today as well. But we're making astonishing progress in terms of getting it set up for where we want it to be. It's been fantastic just to be so able to make progress so early in the life of the car. The team have just done an astounding job. We really believe that it represents a possible future for a driver's car in that it gives you tremendous range and within a really compact form factor and at a relatively low weight.
And is that the next logical step for you then? Once you've finished the development work on the Speirling, could we see a road-going Speirling appear somewhere down the line?
In the long term, I absolutely hope so, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, it's a fascinating looking thing. Also, lots of very clever technology. Here's hoping that we end up seeing one of these on the street someday. Thomas, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rory.
Cheers.